So let's talk about one of the very troubling things that is happening right now. I told you before this was going to happen. I said this back in 2020, right before the pandemic. I knew this was going to happen. It did. I said this about a year ago, and I've been seeing it for the past 12 months. Is people are selling everything. They're trying to get rid of their cars to get out of payments. They're trying to sell their homes to actually preserve some of the equity and use it for something else. They're trying to sell their stocks and get out of retirement. They're trying to just sell their belongings, everything. I'm seeing it today. I've been seeing it for the past handful of months as well, but now it's actually picking up. It's becoming a little bit more intense. So I want to break down what's going on, why we're seeing this, and what to expect moving forward. Because some of the things that people are doing right now is somewhat shocking, but it's something we've seen before. So I'm going to break all this down in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. Also, remember to share this video with people over on Facebook so they too know exactly what is going on. But let's get right down to it. So before I jump into what is happening, I want to give you a quick little story. I was talking to a friend of mine just the other day, and he is selling his condo. He has a condo in a very touristy area, and he's selling it, or he's attempting to sell it. Now, he's been attempting to sell this condo for about 6 months, and he keeps bringing the price down because nobody wants it. Nobody wants to buy it, right? But here's the problem. He's selling his condo. He's selling 2 of his cars that he just doesn't drive as much as he would like. So he's selling those. He actually just sold a cemetery plot that him and his family, they all have a plot that they were gifted from their grandfather or something. I don't know all the details, but he is selling it because he has to sell everything just in order to pay for his current life. Here's what's happening. This is going on all over the US. Okay? Let me read this comment to you, because this comment is very telling as to what we are going through now and how we went through this before. Listen to this. This person left me a comment and says this, and I quote, "It feels like 2009 all over again. I lost my job. My rent went up by $150. Nobody would hire me, and I had to sell almost everything that I owned. And I'm in the process of selling everything that I own once again. As I lost my job, rent went up by $275 a month, and still, nobody is hiring." That's what I said yesterday. People are not hiring. These jobs, these help wanted signs that are in the windows, these are people that are looking for part-time work. These are companies that are looking for somebody to come in every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from like 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. They're going to give you 3 hours. They're going to give you 3 hours, 4 days a week. You're going to get a total of 12 hours a week. Guess what? Nobody wants to come in from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Who wants to do that? It's like, well, who can come in from 2:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m.? If you're like most people, you probably work until about 5 o'clock. And so guess what? Can't come in. Well, that's why we're seeing all these help wanted signs, all these now hiring, because we are not seeing anybody hiring. They're looking, but they're not hiring. But let's break it down. Why are we seeing all this stuff happening again? Why is it just like 2008? Well, it's simple. We are seeing prices continue to go up, which is causing a lot of people to panic because they can't afford it. Especially over the past couple of years, we were seeing stimulus. Right? We got a $1,200 stimulus check, a $600 stimulus check, a $1,400 stimulus check. We saw enhanced unemployment benefits, PPP loans. Right? We got all this stuff. Today, nothing. There's talks, there's discussions of a potential new stimulus package, but guess what? It's probably not going to happen. And it's not going to be for every single person currently living in the United States. That right there, I can tell you, is completely out of the question. But listen to this. I was I'm messaging a guy over on Facebook, about a almost brand new zero-turn lawnmower. And I asked him why he wanted to sell it. And he said simply, I need it sold immediately. Okay. Well, this current zero-turn lawnmower probably is worth about $3,200, maybe something like that. And he was asking $3,500. Here's the reason why. He wanted $3,500 because he needed to pay his mortgage, he needed to pay a car payment, and almost immediately, and there were some other bills. And he was pretty upfront, like, hey, let me just break it down to you. I need about $2,800. That would be my bottom that I'd take, $2,800, because I need to pay X amount in mortgage. I think it was like $2,000 or something. $500 for car payment and X amount for other bills. So he's very upfront. I end up not buying it from him. Somebody else bought it before I did. But here's the thing. He was very clear. I don't have another option. I need to sell this immediately. I need to sell it to the first person that's going to give me $2,800. And it sounds like he did. But this is what we continue to see. People are going to sell everything they have, all their belongings, their additional cars. They're going to sell their computers. They're going to sell their TVs. They're going to sell the clothes off their back just to be able to make ends meet, just be able to make sure they have their mortgage or their rent. They have hopefully enough to pay their car payment, and then the excessive amount that insurance companies are now asking. And then on top of all that, they still got to buy food and utilities and medicine. But listen to this. This is what this person did. This person commented on one of my videos and said this. I quote, Adam, I had to sell all of my tools in order to make rent. I lost my job as a machinist 2 months ago and did everything I could to get a new job in the same field, but nothing. My only option at this point is to sell my tools and hope I find a different job soon. I will keep you posted on that. That's exactly what I saw back in 2008, 2009, is construction, people that were in the construction trade. That, these are, electricians, these are painters, carpenters. They were selling their tools. I remember this because at this time, I had a bunch of money that I was using to buy those tools at a discount. So it was a win-win. I get them at a discount. They get some money so that they can go and feed their family and pay for all these things. But again, back then I was what, 18, 19 years old, something like that. And so at that time, what I did was I bought those tools and I resold them on Craigslist and Facebook, and I sold them on eBay because there were still people that were buying, just not in the area that I was buying those tools at. Listen to this one, because I had to do something very similar to this. This person says, I could really use your help. My wife thinks I'm crazy for doing this, but it will lower our monthly cell phone bill by about $60. I want to cancel our Verizon contract and get my wife, our daughter, and myself a phone from Straight Talk. Now, and the reason I bring this up is because I did this before. Okay, I had a newer iPhone. Okay, and this was years ago. This was probably before 2008. I had a newer cell phone, and I'm pretty sure it was an iPhone, but I had a newer cell phone, and what I ended up doing is I ended up selling it, using that money to pay for, I think I paid for a website. I paid for some business that I was starting then, and then I got a cheaper cell phone. And guess what? It only took me 2 to 3 months to make a bunch of money to start that new business. And then on top of that, I was able to buy a new cell phone. I was able to get the new one. I've done it with cars before as well, where I was struggling just a little bit, and this was back when I was 18, 19 years old, 17, something like that, where I had a car, sold it. Right, my wife and I moved, sold it. It took some of that money, again, started another business, paid for more websites, and I think some continuing education as far as marketing and freelance and stuff like that. I did that, and I sold the car, didn't need it, got something a lot less expensive, and then at that point, was able to make some money. Was able to make hundreds of dollars a day, and at that point, when I was very young, it was incredible, making $200-300 a day. There was days where I was making a couple $1,000s by doing freelance writing and marketing. And then I took that money and then I rolled it into bigger and better things, a nicer car, a better place to live, and stuff like that. So again, there's there's times where it makes sense to take a step back in order to take a giant leap forward. And this might be one of those times. So just keep in mind, this is happening. People are selling all of their belongings in order to afford their lifestyle. But in some cases, you might need to take a step back, have a less, affluent lifestyle, and less extravagant, no vacations, no fancy dinners, no gold china, right? Nothing, anything like that. Just very basic, right? Reestablish yourself, get regrounded, organize, and then move forward. So I just want to leave you with that because, again, I know I'm getting a lot of questions about people asking, what should I do? Here's my situation. What should I do? So I can't give everybody advice because everybody has a different situation and it's very specific to them only. So I just want you to understand there's going to come times where it's a good idea to sell all your stuff. Get out of it. Have a very minimalistic lifestyle. And then reorganize and regroup. So again, I will leave you with that. But again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing. And like I said before, share this video with your friends, family, and colleagues over on Facebook so they too know exactly what is going on, but also how to deal with it. So again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.